Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Y'all, Instagram has been clocking me so hard with their ads lately because they keep showing me ads for things that I do not need but do want to buy, such as this little palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This is their Tokyo eyeshadow palette, you guys. This one is so much fun. I'm so excited. And so we're gonna do swatches and a look today. I also have this face palette from Nomad Cosmetics. I got this in an Ipsy box a few months ago, actually. Have not tried it yet, so we're gonna check it out for the first time today as well. If you're new here, my name's Haley. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to. I would really appreciate it, okay? And let's get started. Another day, another eyeshadow palette. You know how like you think about buying something and you're like, no, I definitely don't need to buy that, but then you just keep thinking about it until you just end up buying it. That happens to me a lot, and it really happened to me with this palette, so I'm super excited to have it and check it out today. So we have here the Nomad Tokyo palette. Now, Nomad is not a Tokyo. I literally almost just said Tokanese brand. It's not a Japanese brand, but they do have this little Tokyo themed palette. I mean, this is just the unicarton that it comes in, but like, oh my gosh, you just know. And then that's what the inside looks like. So here it is. Looks just like the front of the unicarton. Love that. It's beautiful. Look. There it is. Something I do like about this palette is that all three rows are sort of their own independent texture. So it looks like, I'm not 100%, but it looks like this top row are mattes, this middle row is kind of satin, and then these look like shimmers, maybe glitters. We're gonna find out. Okay, and there are some of these names that I definitely don't know how to say. So maybe I'll try. Some of them I can say, but some of them I'm just like not even gonna attempt. So this first one is Kawaii or Kawaii. It's spelled like Hawaii, but with a K. This next one, I don't know how to say. This next one's called Mel Tea Room. This next one, I don't know how to say it. This one's called Visual Key or Visual Kai. This one is like a dark gray, which is cool because the palette overall is very colorful, but there are these two gray shades. So if you wanted to do like a cool toned, neutral, smoky eye or something, you've got that. Anyways, this is the first one on the second row. This one's called Lolita. This one's called Now is Forever. This one's called Hanami. Hanami? Hanami is how my hillbilly ass would say it. It's probably not how it's pronounced. This one's called Gyaru. I'm telling you, like these, some of them I'm just hopeless on. This one's called Kuroi Niji. This one's like a light gray. And this is the start of the bottom glittery row. Get ready. Hold on to your hats, ladies. Oh my gosh. This one's called Zaku Zaku. Zaku Zaku. Zaku Zaku. It's yellow, but it's pretty. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to say this one. This one's called Moshi Moshi. Moshi Moshi. This one's supposed to be like, oh no, I'm an idiot. I swatched the wrong one. That one's called Otaku. And this one's called Moshi Moshi. Moshi Moshi, I don't know. Ooh, stunning! So boom, there it is, the palette. Gosh, that's a fun one. I'm excited. I have so many eyeshadow palettes, and somehow these palettes still will like swoop in and just amaze me. I'm gonna start with this shade right here. I'm calling the pigment. Where you at, girl? Let me try a different brush. Okay, that is quite cute. I will say that for how this color looks in the pan, I would like a little bit more payoff on the lid, but I've always said that I don't mind a blendable or a buildable shadow rather. And this one's building nicely and it is blending nicely. So it's not that huge of a deal. If you're someone that likes a really pigmented shadow to lay down, this one particular shade anyways might not be your gig, but we're only one in. And I mean, the palette in general is just kind of pastel. So you almost could expect something like that. I was hoping for more pigment, but I mean, it's not a big deal. Like the color's building, it looks pretty, but I would like just a touch more saturation. Gosh, that's a pretty color though, isn't it? Ooh, so cute. Okay, so it took me in total 3 dips per eye to get the saturation where I wanted it. I am a little concerned, I will say, moving forward from this point, because other than the gray, this was the deepest matte shade that was in the palette. So if that one goes on a little pale, then what hope is there for the other 3? I'm gonna go into this guy right here. I don't know how to say it, Kakigori. I'm just picking all the shades that I don't even know how to pronounce. Okay, so that's not quite working how I want it to. I think that blue is just a little too pale. I normally wouldn't do what I'm doing right now with a what's the word? Oh my god, satin shadow, but I'm gonna try a little bit of this one. I'm just gonna try it, see. Something that is concerning me as I'm doing this, like kind of struggling to get the color where I want it, is like deeper skin tones, you know? I think the key with these is just to build it. Get it built up, you know? Be patient. Patience is a virtue, children. Okay, me on these 2 kind of teal shades. Me. This purple shade though, kind of everything. Okay, I've said it before, but I feel like I ought to say it again. I just don't like anything that's shiny to be above my lid. So that satin shadow that I used is pretty. This one, the Now Is Forever, it's pretty and it looks good with the purple, but it's that like slight bit of sheen that like just reflects off of my face in a way that I would prefer it not to, I guess. So now I'm gonna try to actually take this Now Is Forever shade and pack some of it on the outer corner and see what that looks like. Should I spray it? So I may edit that moment out, but I did spray the shadow. And like a true satiny shadow, it definitely preferred to be packed and sprayed. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, that's pretty. The texture and pigment may not be where I would really love it to be, but these colors are beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm just gonna cover the rest of my lid with this guy right here, one that I don't know how to say. I'm very tempted to use this one, Moshi Moshi. I don't want it to read too green on the lid though. But this is kind of like a topper, I feel like, not necessarily. It's not like an opaque shimmer. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the inner corner and just see how I feel about it. Okay, since I packed that matte shadow on here, it's kind of lifting back up with my brush. It's okay, I didn't really give it anything to stick to, so it's not a big deal. But maybe let me try my finger instead of my brush to put this on. Yeah, this topper definitely prefers my finger. That's pretty cute. Okay, I'm really liking it so far. Colors are bright, very pretty. Let me go get everything else on. Be right back. And voila! Here she is. What I did on the lower lash line was I took this shade, this pink shade, Lolita, and I just kind of smudged it out on my lower lash line to about here. And then I took a little bit of this orange one called Kawaii. I did this one like kind of down in here. You can't even really see it, and I didn't pack it on, so it's not really like popping through, but it's there. All in all, I really like this palette. I am hesitant to say that I really love this palette. I think it's beautiful. I just love the pastel colors, and it's such a fun, oh, and I don't think I even showed y'all, but y'all see little cats, I guess those are cats, that are like like in the pan. It's so precious. I do, because I really appreciate symmetry and order and organization. I do like how it's like top row mattes, middle row satins, bottom row glitter, shimmer, whatever. This is a problem that I have with a lot of palettes. I just wish there were some more matte. I almost would just be fine with this second row being just mattes, but there's just not a lot of space in my life for satin shadows in general. I just don't really use them that much. Like I said, it's an adorable palette. I like the look that I came up with. Maybe not as pigmented as I would love them to be, but they are definitely blendable. Like the mattes that I did use just blended beautifully, effortlessly. So it just took some building, that was about it. Anyways, so I do also have a face palette from Nomad. I actually got this in an Ipsy box like several months ago, and it does say that it's a special edition Ipsy like exclusive product, but I did see some face palettes on their website, and I feel like I saw this one on their website whenever I bought that Tokyo one. It's, I mean, just beautiful. Like the packaging, you know, this is a really sturdy palette, like they feel really nice, so the quality of packaging and whatnot is there. And oh my gosh, I haven't used this face palette yet, but I have stared at it plenty because oof, it's so pretty. All three of these pans are like shimmery, I guess supposed to be kind of highlighters or just like shimmery bronzers. And then this one is matte. So today I'm just gonna, I already did blush, but I wanna try this guy out for bronzer. And then I think I'm gonna use this one for highlighter. Let's see how it goes. So a classic problem that I tend to have with face palettes is that I like to use a big brush for bronzer, and it's kind of just like, you know, I mean, these are pretty decent sized pans, but still, I don't want to accidentally dip into the other ones. It's just a little close for comfort, but it's really not a big deal. I'm just, you know. So if their bronzer is anything like their eyeshadow, not overly pigmented, blends easily and builds, then I should like this bronzer, but we'll see. I don't know if it's like a bronzer, if it's supposed to be like contour, like whatnot. It looks like bronzer to me, so we're gonna use it for bronzer. Oh, 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 she's pigmented. Okay. Okay, this shade I would say is a touch warm for me. Honestly, that's pretty normal with most bronzers. It's like, it's weird because I'm like, the eyeshadow palette's not pigmented enough, and then this one I'm like, oh, it's pretty pigmented. So far, it's all been blendable, so let's get that excess off, girl. Gotta, because she is pigmented. Okay, not my favorite bronzer in the world, mostly just because it's not my favorite shade in the world. The formula is pretty good though, a little more pigmented than I was expecting, but it blended out fine. Now, of course I don't have any clean highlighter brushes, why would I? This is not really a highlighter brush, but we'll try it. So, by the way, the bronzer shade that I use is called Manly Beach. And then this highlighter, the pinky highlighter shade that I'm going to use is called Balmoral Beach. I guess. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Oh, this was the completely wrong brush to use. Ooh, very pretty. And she is done. Like 3 hours later, but we're done. Alrighty, so all in all, Nomad Cosmetics. I don't know what Nomad Cosmetics. Lovely brand. I'm not like completely gobsmacked, blown away by these products, but I think that the aesthetic is obviously there. Very pretty packaging, good quality as far as like the feel, the experience, all that jazz, and the formulas themselves were pretty good. Definitely not the worst I've ever had. They were blendable, and that is what's important for these types of products. To me, anyways. Let me know if you guys have ever tried Nomad Cosmetics, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you want to. And it's time for me to go, so bye.